What is going on, everyone? DSP here with a channel update. A lot to cover today, so please bear with me. First of all, I just want to give everyone an update on what's been going on with the auctions of a couple games I was selling on eBay for the first time. Now, if you've been following along, you would know that earlier this week, the auctions actually ended on Monday, and we've been trying to follow up, John and I, with the original person who apparently won both auctions, whose name was Pizza Power Jack on eBay. He basically bid at the very last minute. Now, a lot of people have been questioning us and saying, Phil, there's a lot of protections on eBay. We don't understand how you could be fooled by bidders. Well, let me explain something. This guy who bid on these two games, it was Alan Wake Collector's Edition and Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 Collector's Edition, at the last minute, he had positive feedback, actual bidding history, a confirmed PayPal account, and, you know, it's shown that he had, you know, a good reputation on eBay. So apparently this guy just decided to be a complete fucking asshole and just say, oh, I don't like Phil, so fuck him, I'm just going to bid up his stuff and screw him over. And that's exactly what he did. Well, just so everyone knows, we've contacted eBay, his account's getting shut down, so fuck him. And, you know, everyone's like, oh, it doesn't matter, he can make a new account. Well, bottom line is, when you make a new account, you have zero feedback, and we have the ability to block people who have zero feedback from bidding on our items. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, in the meantime, we've offered both of those games up to the second chance people, basically the people who had the second highest bid. No one responded there, so we offered it to the third highest bid, and at least for Alan Wake, someone responded, someone did actually make the payment, and so they're going to be getting that custom signed by both John and myself. They actually requested that John sign it as well, because if you remember, in the Alan Wake playthrough, actually John was there for more than half of it, so it was like a co-op commentary. So that will be going out this week. In fact, today John's coming over, and we're going to go ahead and go to Staples, maybe get some cool markers and things to start signing stuff with, and things like that, and so that will be going out soon. We have not heard yet on Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, so this is the kind of bad situation that I was trying to avoid. This is what I was telling everyone who was repeatedly contacting me and saying, Phil, why don't you just sell your games on eBay? This is the problem. You have real shithead haters who fucking just love to shit in the middle of your living room floor. They would really, if they could, they would walk in, they'd knock on your door and you say, hello, who are you? And they just walk in your house like this, and they just pop a squat right here in the middle of the floor, and they go, oh yeah! And they shit right there in your floor, and then walk out the door like nothing happened. And this is what they get their jollies from. There's sick people like that out in the world. So, unfortunately, one of them got me this week, and that's what happens. And we'll see what happens. I have two more auctions up right now. As you know, it's actually for GoldenEye 007 and Fable 3, both the collector's editions. Both of them are going for a decent amount. Now, just so everyone knows, GoldenEye is actually going for pretty cheap. It's up to only, I think, $90. And to buy this in the store was like $70-something. So, you know, really this one, I guess a lot of people are interested in GoldenEye. But, you know, Fable, however, is over $200, but again, I have to worry about, gee, even though I'm blocking people who have zero feedback and all that, is someone pulling my leg, is someone trying to fuck with me again. And that's why, for the longest time, I was staying away from eBay, but now, unfortunately, it looks, you know, I wanted to try it and see what would happen, and now, unfortunately, we're getting this bad, negative stuff. So, please, if you're interested, go ahead and go take a look and bid. I'm going to include the links to these two games in the description of my video here. If we don't hear from anyone with Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, we might be forced to relist the game, which kind of sucks now because we've basically lost over a week where we, you know, people could have had it and enjoyed it because some fucking shithead hater had the fucking shit in the middle of our living room. But what are you going to do? That's life. So you got to roll with the punches. Well, I'll let you know if anything happens with that. Now, besides the eBay stuff, there's a couple other things going on I want to let you know. Pretty exciting. First of all, our box of parts have arrived for modifying those joysticks, which we've been talking about for months now. And just to give you guys a little flavor of some of the ideas that we have, I mean, take a look. We got custom buttons, all Sanwa professional grade buttons. We've got all kinds of different color ball tops. We bought both Famitsu and Sanwa joysticks for these, so we can decide what kind of control style we want to make these. And just to show you, the initial batch of sticks we're going to be doing is actually going to be these joysticks, the small ones that were released in 2009 for the release of Street Fighter 4. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to go ahead, actually, is there a better picture? Yeah, there is right here. what we're going to do is we're going to completely replace the joystick, the buttons. We're going to replace them with custom ones. We're going to have custom artwork, which we're going to print out for these joysticks and replace the artwork that's already on them, and then we're going to have buttons in a joystick color to match those. So we're going to really soup these up and make them tournament worthy. Now we actually have 2 for the PlayStation 3 and 2 for the Xbox 360. So you're actually going to be able to buy this stick, and it's your choice. If you would like us to sign it, actually with like a marker or something like that, we can do that. Or if you just want to buy the stick and actually go use it in tournaments and stuff like that, you can do that. I would highly recommend that if you want us to sign it, that you have us sign it in a place where your hands won't rub, like maybe above the buttons or something like that. But anyway, that's our idea. We have 4 of these sticks lying around. I've had them for a while now, and I wanted to modify them, but we just haven't had a chance. We're going to go ahead and do that, and those will go up on eBay. We're hoping we can meet sometime this week at the latest to try to start modifying these sticks and get our ideas together for artwork and stuff like that to start getting these ready to go. And we want to get these up for auction around the week of Thanksgiving, so that way it's like the week of Black Friday. So when everyone's doing their Christmas shopping, you know, those could also go up on eBay for auction. So that's our goal, but we're not sure 100% if we're going to be able to do that. But pretty cool. We got all these custom parts, and I actually have an idea already. I want to make a Mega Man stick. I think that would be really cool, especially with Marvel vs. Capcom 3 coming out. Now, not that Mega Man's in it, but he might be in it, and I think that might be a cool thing to do. So that might be one idea that I have. But I might have other things coming up in my head too. It all depends on what art we can find. You know, what ideas we have between now and the time that we make them in the next 2 weeks. Now, outside of just those sticks, we actually do have the full tournament size sticks, the tournament editions. I have one that was made in 2009. It was the original wave of the tournament edition sticks for Street Fighter 4, and then we have a Super Street Fighter 4 stick from this year, earlier this year, and I've actually purchased or ordered, I haven't gotten them yet, clear plexiglass tops for those. And the cool thing about those sticks is we can make custom art, sign it, and put the plexiglass top on top, and now they won't smudge. You can actually use that stick in a tournament if you wanted, and it wouldn't smudge anything because you got the plexiglass top on it. I haven't decided. I really want to make a stick for me. Right now I have nothing, you know, no custom stick for me. I'm thinking maybe that the one that came out this year, the Tournament Edition S, I might actually make just for me. And but the other one, we might actually dual mod it, which means we might make it so that it works with the PlayStation 3 and an Xbox 360. And that way, no matter where you are, what tournament you're going to, that stick's going to work with whatever setup they have there, and you don't have to bring multiple sticks or worry about, oh, gee, what version of the game is this? You'll have a stick that works with everything. So we're thinking about doing that as well. Obviously, that stick would be probably a little bit more on the pricey side because it has so many features. Just the dual mod itself, I believe, adds something like $70 to the value of the stick. But we'll see what we're going to do. Right now, we're really focused on getting these little sticks done, and when those plexiglass tops comes, then we'll worry about the other sticks. But anyway, keep your eyes open for that. We will be talking about that in the next couple of weeks. Actually, when we modify these, I'm going to make videos of it so people can kind of understand, you know, what the modification process is. We've done that before. About 2 years ago, I did that when I first modified some sticks. But I think it's time to bring it out again and, you know, remind everyone, you know, this is how you do it. It's really not that hard, especially if you order parts from certain places and stuff like that. Alright, so that's it for the joysticks. The final thing I want to talk about is the website, TKOHHD.com. One quick response to a bunch of questions at the beginning, and then some really cool news. The response is, a lot of people have been telling me, Phil, it doesn't work with Internet Explorer. Well, number one, you're absolutely right. The main page of the website does not work with Internet Explorer. The reason that it doesn't work is because Internet Explorer is the most outdated browser out there, has the most security holes of any browser out there, and if you're still using it, I really have to like warn you, stop. I don't know why people are still using Internet Explorer. It's like, it's horribly outdated. It's like, for 5 years, people in the know have stopped using that browser. I recommend you go out, you get Firefox, you get Opera, you get anything else, Google Chrome. Anything but Internet Explorer is better than Internet Explorer. The one exception is, I understand if you're like on a work computer, a lot of workplaces restrict what you can use, and they make you use Internet Explorer because they can kind of control the security patches and things that come out for it. But even then, they're idiots, because obviously you're not supposed to be going on, you know, a casual website like that. It's not a work-related website, so that they don't believe that you would have to have any problems with that browser going on a website like that. But I'm telling you, get rid of Internet Explorer. But anyway, even if you are stuck with Internet Explorer, you can still go to the forums, which is the meat of the website. Just go to thekingofhate.com/forums, and you can get to the forums. Internet Explorer works with the forums. It just doesn't work with the main page. So go over there and check out the forums. Now, the reason I want you to go over there is two reasons. Number one, I have a section I just put up yesterday. I'm looking for logos, okay? And I talked about this in my Ask the King video earlier this week, but I want to reiterate. Now that I've kind of hammered down the series that I'll be doing on a weekly basis, so what will those be? It'll be Cooking with the King, DSP Tries It, Ask the King, Smart Guys. I got so many now I can't even remember what the hell they are. Oh, and the King's Verdict, which is a new series that I just made, and there might be one or two more. But anyway, I made a thread on the forums, which is like my top, the 6 series. And, oh, the Weekend Preview is the other one that I need a logo for, because the other one is the Hateful Truth, but I have a logo for the Hateful Truth. I want to make these look better. I want to basically run, when I make a video like this, like a channel update video or whatever, I want to run these through like a quick processing and put a nice logo or something up so they look professional. And right now I don't have any good logos right now for this stuff. I'm not a graphic designer, so I'm not even going to try to take a stab at it. Now if you go over, it's going to say, I think it says something like DSP needs help logo submission thread or something like that. Head over there and take a look. A lot of people have already submitted logos. Some of them are actually pretty good. I'm pleased. So you might see starting this week, you might see on some of my shows I'll have new logos up. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean those are going to be the logos I use permanently. So please, by any means, if this is the first time you're hearing about this, head over to the forums and submit your pictures there. And I'll take a look, and if I like it, I'll use it. And if you'd like me to give you credit, let me know. I can easily, say, put the logo and say logo provided by such and such if that's the deal. If you don't really care, just let me know then, and I'll just put the logo up. It's no big deal. But that's going to be the method that you submit the logo. Go to thekingofhate.com/forums, find the threads, and submit your logos in the thread so everyone can publicly see them. Everyone can kind of, mull them over and say, do I like this, do I not like this, and then I'll make my decisions. Some people, actually 2 people already contacted me outside of that and said, oh, I'm a graphic designer, would you like me to make you logos? And I said, dude, just submit the logo in the thread like everyone else is doing, and for some reason, they're against doing that. Well, too bad then. If you can't follow the rules, then don't fucking give me anything. I mean, that's ridiculous. So, that's it. Go check that out. Now, the other thing, and this is cool for everyone else, because a lot of people have been asking me about this. They said, Phil, so that is near the end of the year. We know that in December you always make, well, at least for the past 2 years, you made your top 10 series. So my top 10 best games of the year, top 10 worst gaming moments of the year. Last year I did a top 10 funniest gaming moments of the year from my playthroughs. And people said, this year, you got a lot more going for you. There's been musical remixes. You have a website now with a lot of fan interaction. For the past 2 months you've been doing this as your full-time job. Is there any way we can get in on this? And I said, you know what, that's a great idea. So what I've done, I have a new section on the forums as well that I made yesterday. That's called I believe, the Best of 2010. And it's for the fans and viewers to vote. The first series of threads that I put up there is the musical remixes from 2010. Now, we've had a lot. In fact, when I tallied them up, I thought we had maybe 10. There's been over 18, okay? So I kind of collected my favorite 18 of the year, and I put them into 4 separate threads. And it sucks. I wish I could have put them into one thread, but unfortunately, the forum only has capability to put 10 options in one poll. So I said, let me separate them out, and I tried to separate them out enough so that it wasn't like 5 songs from Ghost Drone, and you're like, fuck, now I don't know what to vote for, or anything like that. I tried to even them out, so at least it's things against each other that you could say, oh, this one's a little bit better than this one, I'll vote for this one. Now, I want to emphasize to everyone, when you vote, you can vote for more than one. So, for example, if there's Thugs on the Floor, The Resurrection, which was the final version that was remixed with all the different stuff, an Alan Wake song, a Mega Man song, and those are the options. If you like 3 out of the 4, you can vote for 3 at once and then click your vote. A lot of people were confused. They thought you could only vote for 1, and then they voted for 1, and they said, oh, well, I want to vote for others, but you can't. Once you vote, it's locked in, and the forum's not going to let you go in and vote again. So be careful. Go over there on each particular thread, take a look at the options. If you like them, check the ones that you like the most, and then vote. And what I'm going to do is, this will probably go on for 2 to 3 weeks here, maybe a month, and I'll tally everything up, and the ones with the best, the highest vote count will get into my video series. And I don't know if I'll do top 10. I might do top 5 best songs or something like that. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but depending on votes. And the other reason I did like that is because, let's say, there might still be some remixes coming up. I got Assassin's Creed 2 next week. I've got Sonic Colors next week. We've got the new Donkey Kong Country. We've got Epic Mickey and Tron Evolution, which actually comes out in December. So there's at least 5 to 6 more games that I'll be playing this year. There's a potential that there might be more remixes coming out. So I left it like that. So if there are, I can make another thread and say, okay, here's the last batch from this year. Vote on these. So that potential is there. Now what I also want to do is I want to do like the top 10 fan favorite playthroughs of the year or something like that. The problem with that is I've done so many freaking games this year that it would be like, damn, how am I going to narrow it down? I can't, like I said, I can only do a poll of 10. And I'm not going to do 100 threads of 10 each. That would be ridiculous. So what I might need to do is sometime coming up in the next couple of weeks where it'll be slowing down a little bit and sit down and say, okay, out of my personal best playthroughs of the year, maybe I'll sit down and I'll say, out of all the games I did, what are my 25 or 20 favorite for me? And then I'll do 2 polls of 10 each and say, please vote for your favorites out of these, and then based off of that, we'll make a top 10. One thing that people are requesting, but there's really no way I could do it, is the top 10 funniest moments fan voted. Because think about it this way. Anything from any playthrough could be considered fan favorite as funniest. In fact, throughout the year I've been following the comments on YouTube, and a lot of people said, wow, this is the funniest moment of the year for me. And then I watch the next playthrough and someone else says, wow, this is the funniest moment of the year for me. So there's an infinite number of possibilities. Unless I accept write-ins, I would never be able to do that. And the bottom line is I don't have time to go through 3,000 write-in votes to tally them up and figure out what the commonalities are between them. So unfortunately, I don't think that's going to work out. But I'm thinking musical remixes, top 10, best playthroughs of the year, fan voted is possible. I might do a couple other things this year. It all depends on how much time I have in December. And also it depends on what happens if this ends up being my full-time job or not. As you know, for almost 2 months now it has been. I'm finally going to get the verdict in about 2 to 3 weeks. By the end of November I should know. And if I can make this my full-time job, I'm going to dedicate all of my time in December to making it the best year-end batch of videos ever. I mean, I'm even thinking of going, gee, can I do what's the best action game of the year? What's the best platformer of the year? What's the best Xbox 360 exclusive? What's the best PlayStation 3 exclusive? Who do I think was the console of the year? Who was the big winner? What was the biggest achievement of the year, meaning like the thing that I felt was the greatest thing for gaming this year? What was the biggest letdown of the year? Those are the kind of things that I would love to do, but those take a lot of time and dedication, especially since it takes, I could probably pump out a couple top 10 videos a day if I really just sat here and worked on it for hours and hours a day. Let me give you some perspective. Last year, when I had a full-time job, I was working 8 to 10 hours. I would come home, I would jump on the computer, and I would immediately start editing, and I would work 4 to 5 hours to get one of those videos out for you guys a day. So if I could do, if that's my job, just that, I could probably do 2 to 3 a day. But obviously, if this isn't going to work out, and now I need to start looking for another job and things like that, then I'm not going to have time to do it. So we have to see what happens. I'll keep everyone in the loop. For now, I'm still staying positive, and we're hoping for the best. Obviously, yes, best case scenario, I'll be able to do this full time, and at least for some time. I'm not saying I'm going to do this forever for the rest of my life, but I've loved doing this for the past month and a half. I mean, I've got to play so many games. I've got to interact with the fans. I've got a cool website working now. Just so many ideas running through my head, and I've had such massive positive feedback from everyone, despite the haters who, I'm blowing off. I would love to do this for a while at least as a full-time thing, but it's in the hands of others, let's put it that way. We need to see what happens at the end of November, and once that passes, then I can definitively say to you yes or no and give you, and I would love to have it. Tell me, if it works out, I'm going to have a freaking party. I'm going to, and just to be free of the mainstream business world and not have to have necessarily a boss per se, and to be able to have the fans be my boss and basically me be honest with you and have this relationship where I can have a job that I love, it's going to be great. But I can't get my hopes too much up. I'm staying positive, but we don't know what's going to happen yet. I'll keep you in the loop. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to December. I hope that everything works out because I would love to do those series for you. And the bottom line is this. If I get to do really professionally looking good series like that, I might be able to get signed with a bigger site like Game Trailers or someone else and say, look, here's this really cool work I did in December when I had the whole month to work on it. I could do this for you on a regular basis. What do you think? And we'll see what someone like that, so a mainstream website says, as opposed to maybe some of these companies on YouTube who've been trying to contact me. But anyway, that is it. That was a lot, I know, but I guess the main gist of it is check out the auctions. I'll give you any updates on if anything happens or any more fraud or any bullshit, but there's really nothing we can do about it. Keep your ears open for information on the joysticks. We'll be modifying those soon, and I'm really excited to get some of those out there. I have really good ideas for some designs I want to use. And go check out the website, TKOHHD.com. Start voting, submit your logos, all that stuff. If you have Internet Explorer, get rid of it. But if you're stuck with it, you can still go to the forums. That's it. That's a lot. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you later. Keep in mind, Smart Guys will be coming up later today. And next week is going to be a busy week for gaming too. But we'll talk a little bit about that on Monday in the weekend preview. So, alright, see you later.